What do you wish the African American Church understood about the MDiv, about the Master of Divinity?
That is essential for ministry or effective ministry. And I wish they knew about the amount of hours and the amount of time that it takes and how the degree ranks in the rest of the world compared to a bachelor's of whatever or a master's of education and all of that. I just wish they knew the value of a master's of divinity degree, because I don't think they do. Because most of the time they're picking pastors or preachers based off of how they sound, or do they sound like our old pastor, or did it sound like Wardale? Wardale, does it sound like him? That was my old pastor. He had a head on him and he hummed. Mm-hmm. And they pick pastors based off of that, not so much of theological beliefs. I remember going to a particular church, and I got sent they asked for my resume, sent my resume, and they interviewed me, and they didn't hire me, and I was like in seminary, almost done, and they didn't pick me up, and they ended up picking a guy who was a barber, and he said he was gonna go to seminary. I could say I'm gonna go to law school, but that doesn't make me
Equipped.
a lawyer. Yeah. And my uncle to this day, he teases me, talk about you got cut. Too soon. So I wish they knew the comprehensiveness of the degree, the amount of time, and that is what is preparing you for ministry. But in the black church, they believe that you got to have pastoral experience, a senior pastor experience. But if you don't let anyone pastor, then how do they get the senior pastor experience? Please explain that to me, because y'all are so intelligent. If you don't give a person the opportunity to be the senior pastor, then how do they get the senior pastor experience? And also that the MDiv is equivalent to the senior pastor experience. Well, maybe not the leadership portion, but it is at least that they're qualified to lead and shepherd God's people in an effective manner. What do you wish they knew, Keish?
I wish they knew and understood the level of sacrifice for an individual to go and pursue and finish.
Come through, Key.
Because it's 97 hours. Southwestern has now condensed theirs. I can speak for them. I don't know about any other institution, but they've condensed theirs to 82 hours. But regardless, 82, 91, 93, 97, whatever the case, that's sacrificial. And sacrifice is a form of worship. And just because an individual's resume may not say or may not read what you expect it to or what you envision, I wished that their prayer would align with what's presented before them on the resume. Because at times I believe that those two things don't align. And it is, again, I say it is a sacrifice. Usually individuals are pursuing a Master of Divinity. It's very difficult to, especially if this person has a family, it's very difficult to work full time, serve your family well, and earn a Master of Divinity degree. So I wish they understood the level of sacrifice.
I also wish they understood that an ATS, the accreditation board that makes the seminary accredited. I wish they knew definitely the difference, because a lot of people are saying that they are doctors and they are this, and they went to these no-name institutions that just printed some degrees and they paid for some classes, and and they got a degree. But an ATS accreditation is the same accreditation that Harvard has, Harvard Divinity School, Yale Divinity School, Fuller Divinity School, Fuller's Liberty University Divinity School. All of these places have ATS, the Association of Theological Schools, and that accreditation is the standard of all schools and education. And the reason is because of the high marks in academics and what they require before you can get a degree. The amount of reading, the amount of writing, the amount of papers that you got to have per course that you have to take. All of those things are, yeah. So I wish they knew more about the ATS and not so much of just how they sound. Because you can learn the sound. I know a pastor that stole another pastor's whole style. So I mean, you can get the style somewhere. You know, you can pick up the style. That ain't have anything to do with it, but you cannot pick up the substance.